Eventually, we're going to see that heat spill into the Colorado Rockies, and that's going to prompt further snow melt from a season that wasn't beneficial for everyone.
We talk about all the snow in the winter, and this is the time of year that we start talking about the snow melt. Take Colorado, for example. So the Colorado River begins in the state that it's named after, in Colorado. And while there's been plenty of snow this season, it's not lasted long. Rapid snow melt in the winter, it snowballs, for lack of a better word. As of today, collectively, Colorado is sitting at about 60% of the average snowpack when we talk about snow water equivalents. It's not great news, especially with the expected warmer weather that Marissa just referenced. It affects the water supply that 40 million people in 7 states depend on. And now water managers, they're looking at this season's snow as they plan for the summer ahead. The Colorado Sun, you see the headline there, recently published the article, and it reads, Southwestern Colorado farmers expect a third of their normal water supply following a dry winter.
All right, Dolores Water Conservancy District General Manager Ken Curtis. Ken is joining us now. Ken speaking in that article. That's how we were able to track you down. But Ken, you watch water turnout in the southwestern part of the state in Colorado, which we just heard. Disappointing, right? Could you describe a little bit more just the current expected water supply for your district this summer? What are you so far anticipating?
Yes, Marissa, thank you. We are still looking at about a 30% supply. It's been an unusual winter, and we certainly did not get a lot of accumulation at lower elevations.
And so those lower elevations matter. I want to throw up another graphic, Ken, because obviously when we're telling the snowpack story, sometimes it's best to illustrate it. The current percent of average snow for Colorado. This map, if we were to look at it back in January or February, it would have been mostly blue or very close to average. But now, with the snow melting so fast, we've seen roughly 25 to maybe 90% of the average at best. But I'm wondering, Ken, why is the snow melt in the winter a bad thing for you? I mean, you expect the snow to melt, but I guess it does matter at what point of the year it begins to melt.
That's correct. A lot of these snow measurements are up around 10,000 feet. And though we still have the snow up above 10,000 feet, everything below that melted out in February, again in March and April. And the snow melt is much better for us if it comes out in a timely manner all at once. And so the big melt that you reported has not yielded the river runoff that we expected.
And with that not happening, a follow-up, farmers could be facing some issues. I mean, this summer there's been some news about wildfires being a concern, but how could this manifest for farmers?
Oh, definitely most of the farmers across southern Colorado, and particularly here near the Four Corners, they will be out of water early. There will be a lot of fallowed fields to extend a limited supply on limited acres. And so the farmers are trying to revamp their plans to make the best of a 30% supply.
Not a big number when you're looking at it. And then seeing the warmth move in already, that could continue to dry things out and melt. Want to pull another article because for folks in the West, it is a conversation so typical, right? How did we do with snowpack? How are we going to do with our water supply? And we have this article from the Denver Gazette, as it reads, Colorado snowpack, 4th lowest in nearly 40 years. Struggled to reach average. Only 6 ski areas received over 300 inches of snow on the season. And I looked at some of those ski resorts, you know, some of the normal, Copper Mountain, Vail, Breckenridge. As you mentioned, the higher elevation snow did turn out pretty nicely for some. But did you notice that we just had that big time snow this week? Basin, Arapahoe Basin, folks were skiing and have been skiing on some of these mountaintops. So it's got to be frustrating, right? Watching how the season's going to play out. And when it comes to snow versus rain, is the rain something that also you depend on in the spring season?
Generally, we hope for that precipitation to continue coming in as snow at those higher elevations. We're just across the divide from Telluride ski area and Purgatory, both of which almost had to close a little early due to that early melt out in late March with warmer temperatures. So we'd prefer to have the snow right through May, but the precipitation we've actually had the last couple of days down on the farm fields has been beneficial for the short term.
That is some good news, but it is surprising when we look at it. I mean, from a forecasting perspective, we're often looking at those tall peaks because that's where the resorts are. And it's like, man, a banner year for snow. But it's those lower elevations, from what I'm learning from you, Ken, that really matter when it comes to capturing this water. Speaking of capturing, before we let you go, are there creative ways that with a rapid snow melt that is captured by the Colorado River that you guys can conserve that water? Have you been forced to try to think of out of the box ideas, because now, as you're mentioning, you've only got about 30% of the supply this season?
There is certainly, we're lucky to have McPhee Reservoir. So what limited supply is there coming down through the Dolores River, we will capture, and we will have some flexibility of when we send it out. There are others that take direct diversion off rivers that will be out of water by late June. So we have a little bit of flexibility. And then with that, our farmers are probably going to switch a lot of crops and change some watering patterns to eke out a little bit more production.
It is, well, it's a headache, it's a concern, it's a thought process that we go through every year, that you go through every year, but the significance of tallying up the snow totals and then kind of reaping the reward, hopefully, as you get into the warmer months, and we'll see how this summer plays out. It's called Colorful Colorado for a reason.
Yeah, right.
It's a beautiful place, but we need that moisture and that rain, that water, that snow, all of the above. We appreciate you joining us, Ken Curtis, Dolores Water Conservancy District General Manager. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are.